Hi, my name is Bimbo Davids. Welcome again to Conversations. We're talking about crisis and conflicts in marriage. We dealt with why couples that seemingly love each other, lovey-dovey, and then all of a sudden they hate each other seemingly. We dealt with unresolved issues, spirituality, stress, and of course, trust my husband, he added a twist of sexual intimacies and how it affects him. So you want to tune in and watch this episode. Thank you.
Conversations.
Hello, welcome to Conversations with Yemi and Bimbo David.
Hmm.
It was
Okay.
He's actually humble today because I have a bone to pick with him, and
Hmm.
that's one of the things we're talking about today. Um, we're talking about couples, married couples, yes, that start out loving each other, and then after a while, they get into not just fight or not just conflict, but the kind of conflict whereby one of them is,
Okay, very bad language.
vulgar
Curse
curse words, abusing each other, up to the point of even, taking out there to social media, things like that. So that's what we've been talking about.
Conversations. Okay, so crisis.
Just like what you did to me the other day.
I didn't do anything to
You
you.
did something to me in church. You said something.
Okay, but that's on Christ-like.
On what?
On Christ-like. Because I apologized to you,
So-
and then you are still talking about what I did. Not that
It
I apologized to you. That means you didn't accept the apology.
It pains
And that's
me.
what causes problems at times in some marriages, not this one. I apologized to you, okay? And I meant it,
But why did you say it in the first place?
Me too, I don't know. I said it, and I don't know where it came from, Okay, let me say why I said it.
Okay.
When I met you, I remember that
Be careful what you say. Be careful. Oh, yeah, continue.
you like corn. Corn.
Okay.
Especially the hard one. And me, I didn't like the hard one because when I eat it, this part of the head, they call it pari in Yoruba. I don't know, what do you call it in English?
I don't know, your veins.
Your head will be paining
Your
you.
temple.
Pari, will be paining you. And then, but me, I like the soft one. So I've been wondering over the years why you like the hard one.
It's what I like now.
One day I realized that those hard ones that you take,
Be careful what you say.
that okay, that
Okay, what?
you can handle it. Like now, God has already endowed you with capacity for it. Yes, so that's what led to that statement. I'm sorry.
Yes, he has put himself into another trouble with me.
So, but that was where it came from because I was wondering why did I say that? As men, there are many things we imagine that we don't say for years. So, anyway, to the topic of the day, crisis. How do you manage crisis? I've had to counsel with people really where it's like a switch, right? Where maybe on a Monday, for instance, everything is going on fine at home. They had a good laugh, and then on Tuesday or Wednesday, there is a switch. Like it's like you wonder, is it the same couple that was,
lovey-dovey.
lovey, lovey what?
Lovey-dovey.
Oh. That's what we call it, lovey-dovey on Monday. So we're thinking, or we're looking at why does that happen? Because sometimes when a crisis erupts, some don't even know why or what to do, and that escalates much more. So what do you think? What are the reasons for that?
I think one of the reasons would be unresolved, conflict, unresolved issues, whereby, things have been swept under the carpet and maybe one of the parties has been getting away with something he or she did over the weeks for a long time. And then it gets to a point where the other person says, you know what, I'm done. I'm done being the victim here. And something little could happen and just
trigger.
sparks off, that enormous, gigantic, fight. And, sometimes you wonder that, okay, what could have caused this? Why did it have to be this big? But it's because of a lot of little things that hadn't been resolved, sometimes saying sorry, yes, it's okay to say I'm
really
sorry,
mean the
but
sorry?
even apart from meaning the sorry, there are times when you don't just say sorry. There are times you need to really talk about why you're saying sorry or what happened. So it's not just about apologizing, but okay, this is why I did what I did, or this is how I felt when you did when you did this. Talking about things and talking to a good resolution, not just talking things and just moving on. I think unresolved issues, sweeping things under the carpet could,
I think we should dwell on that a bit more because we've had our own experiences, and because when you see escalation of anything, that means there was a trigger, something triggered it, and that means there was something that happened before, one or two things. It can't be just once, maybe minimum of two. Sometimes it could be 5 things that had happened that hadn't been resolved for so long, and there's an assumption that it has been resolved. So it's like, your bed, you have some dirt under somewhere there, you now use the duvet, to just cover it up. Now, duvet can be very beautiful, but doesn't mean there are no debts there. So we want to encourage that we don't gloss over matters. We talk it out. And for us men, it's a big deal. The major weakness of us men is communication. We don't like to get into details. I still grapple with that, and I can imagine how some men, how they struggle. We don't like to settle down and talk. We just want things to be. We are project driven. We want answers immediately, and doesn't work that way. There has to be the working out some detailing. So please, when there is an opportunity to talk it out with your spouse, don't take it for granted. That thing you're taking for granted, you might find yourself talking about it in a place where you never plan to talk about it because you will still have to talk about it. Yeah. So wisdom says it's better you deal with it now, because when it escalates, I have to go for therapy or go for counseling or go and report yourself somewhere. Those matters that you don't want to talk about will come up. So wisdom says, why not deal with it now? Because you will have to deal with it someday. You could be talking about it with your own children. I'm sure you've seen older people now in their 60s, now sitting with their children and I'll be talking. It's very embarrassing. And so it's better to learn how to talk. It requires humility. It requires value for the other person, so the person can express him or herself in details. It doesn't mean you are wrong. I think it's the virtue of listening that will make the difference. So I think so. If you're listening and nothing has escalated, praise the Lord. But if there are unresolved issues that is still hanging, find time to talk about it. Yeah, rest. Yeah, because for the men listening, okay, you underestimate the extent of a woman's emotions. When the emotions are under pressure, you gotta have to calm down. If not, you spoil everything. And I think
woman's emotions.
Yes, women are more emotional.
But
we are
men,
logical.
Men, sometimes we feel that men are not emotional.
I didn't say that.
No, I know that. So I know that women are emotional. Women have hormones and all. However, in recent times, we've been realizing that men are actually emotional. It's just that they don't know how to express the emotions, and they think they shouldn't express emotions. So they keep keeping the emotion until there's a point where they may not even lash out, but they're not okay.
I know, but I'm saying that the emotions of women are more
I'm not trying to. It's not a women against men thing.
But
I'm just trying to bring it to the fore that men also.
When we have our own emotion, because we are predominantly logical, even when we have emotional things, we are looking for the logical, like the solution. Okay, it doesn't mean we know how to resolve it, But a woman's emotion is so different, and if a man understands that, you understand why your wife sometimes behave in a scon way. I mean, we've had our own times. Thank God for the.
No way.
No, I'm talking about. You see now. What have I said now? You're saying no way. You can imagine if it was it's a serious matter now. No way.
No. I'm not saying that. So the way you're putting it, it's almost like you're putting it on the wine.
No. I'm saying a woman is more emotional or displays more emotion than the man.
Doesn't mean it's wrong.
I said displays.
Yeah.
So when that emotion is under intense pressure, it doesn't usually come out well. And I think a man should be understanding of that. And that's where leadership comes in terms of patience and understanding. for the little I've observed in terms of even dealing with couples, when the woman's emotions under intense, it's like pregnancy. A woman doesn't get pregnant. Doesn't mean we don't have our own emotion, but when you are pregnant, the first trimester, second trimester, of course, it's intense. So the expressions of fatigue will be different. Now, if a man doesn't understand that, you start hearing statements like, "Are you the first person that will get pregnant?" You understand? Mm-hmm. Are you the first person that will have 10 kids? And all those statements is ignoramusly, is that correct? Mm-hmm. It's a statement from an ignorant man. How can you be saying, "Are you the first person that will get pregnant?" That pregnancy, she doesn't even understand how she's feeling. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to say. So, and for instance, work. I believe that the way a man responds to work pressure is not the same thing like a woman. There are exceptions. So when a woman is pressured at work and the load is so much, the way the emotions will be expressed is if from you, man, that you are like, in that kind of setting, So that's what I'm saying. So when you notice that from your spouse, you need to calm down and first, pray for her. Don't be quick to respond logically, like, "Are you the first person that will become a senior manager at work? Are you the first person that will be an executive? Are you the first person that will get pregnant?" All those statements.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, but I'm also trying to say, maybe speaking for the men as well.
You're speaking for the men?
Yes, okay. Because there are times you said that men are logical, which is true. However, they are also emotional. We are all both emotional and logical.
Well, emotional beings, yeah.
But the issue is, you said men are solution driven. However, there are times when, and in the bid to find solutions to things, they are quick to, they don't get into their own emotions. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to say that even for the men, we're talking about conflict and why, it gets to a point where both parties or either of parties just blows up when the things happen. I'm saying that for men too, there are times when men need to stop looking for solutions or stop trying to figure out, a solution, and maybe cry or maybe just express, I am tired. And it's not about finding a solution. And the woman can, because women are also strong with even the logic, in the sense that, this is the time to pick up my husband, support my husband. But because a man would always think that I'm the one that should help my wife, I'm the one, and it gets to the point where, I
was actually talking about when you mentioned about stress, that the way we respond to stress.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, men, especially the way we grew up, men have been told that if you express your emotions, you are a weak person. And many men still carry that wrong mindset. Yeah, that's the word, mindset. Thank God Jesus wept, not even cried. He wept. So if Jesus can weep, then you can weep. And then you can also laugh, because I've seen other cases whereby the man is not crying, he's not also laughing. He's the Lion of the tribe of Judah at home. And, in fact, one of the things that helps your health is learning to express your emotions properly. Want to laugh. I mean, those who are close to me know that I can laugh out loud in church, in the office, and every time you giggle like that and you laugh, you are healthier, And then when you feel like crying, cry. It doesn't have to be cry of problems, or it could be during worship. Don't stone your face like, you express your emotions. You are healthier. You are better off. I believe that the way a man responds to work pressure is not the same thing like a woman. There are exceptions. So when a woman is pressured at work and the load is so much, the way the emotions will be expressed is if from you, man, that you are like, in that kind of setting, So that's what I'm saying. So when you notice that from your spouse, you need to calm down and first pray for her. Don't be quick to respond logically, like, "Are you the first person that will become a senior manager at work? Are you the first person that will be an executive? Are you the first person that will get pregnant?" All those statements.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, but I'm also trying to say, maybe speaking for the men as well.
You're speaking for the men?
Yes, okay. Because there are times you said that men are logical, which is true. However, they are also emotional. We are all both emotional and logical.
Well, emotional beings, yeah.
But the issue is, you said men are solution thinkers, driven. However, there are times when, and in the bid to find solutions to things, they are quick to, they don't get into their own emotions. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to say that even for the men, we're talking about conflict and why, it gets to a point where both parties or either of parties just blows up when the things happen. I'm saying that for men too, there are times when men need to stop looking for solutions or stop trying to figure out, a solution, and maybe cry or maybe just express, I am tired. And it's not about finding a solution. And the woman can, because women are also strong with even the logic, in the sense that, this is not even this is the time to pick up my husband, support my husband. But because a man would always think that I'm the one that should help my wife, I'm the one, and it gets to the point where,
I was actually talking about when you mentioned about stress, that the way we respond to stress.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, men, especially the way we grew up, men have been told that if you express your emotions, you are a weak person. And many men still carry that mindset. Thank God Jesus wept, not even cried. He wept. So if Jesus can weep, then you can weep. And then you can also laugh, because I've seen other cases whereby the man is not crying, he's not also laughing. He's the Lion of the tribe of Judah at home. And in fact, one of the things that helps your health is learning to express your emotions properly. You want to laugh. I mean, those who are close to me know that I can laugh out loud in church, in the office. And every time you giggle like that and you laugh, you are healthier. And then when you feel like crying, cry. It doesn't have to be cry of problems, or it could be during worship. Don't stone your face like, you express your emotions. You are healthier. You are better off when you do that. So we talked about that stress. And then another thing I noticed that affects some families, some might not agree with me or with us, is just spiritual attack.
Yeah.
There are times, and we're saying that from the clergy perspective, there are times when blessings are coming to a family. When something is on the way, the enemy can pick it up. And the enemy tries to make people abort blessings. And one of the things that would lead to that is strife, unforgiveness, and malice. So I've told people that anytime you notice unnecessary bickering and fighting with your wife or husband coming up, be smart. Something big is on the way. Especially when it's like for no major reason. Just notice that, what is all this? And that's where you must pray, okay? Take authority over the situation and calm down.
I'm thinking that even there are times when in a home, even if you are right, you don't have to tell your partner.
Yes. Which home? Which home?
No, I'm not.
Continue.
I'm not trying to say that. You just. It's not every time that you have to be the one that is always right. You have to be the one that the person has to apologize to. You have to be the one that is receiving, I'm sorry.
I think, that's true, because we've had cases. I mean, we are privileged to counsel with people, and she's trying to talk about a lot of things that we see happen, really.
Even when we got married, for early years of our marriage, it was the first 5 years.
Yes, I seem to always be wrong. Yes, and I didn't like it as a man, especially when you feel you're always wrong.
Of course, the audience, everybody, you know now. You know what? How can you know?
No, because
you were always the one that I was
feeling that you have been tagged as wrong. Doesn't mean sometimes it could be based on insecurities.
I always would
defend yourself. And
is that what we're talking about?
So when you're talking about early days.
Saying I'm sorry to you.
No.
The first 5 years.
The challenge then was when something goes wrong, you're always quick to defend yourself as this fear. And that in the bit to defend...
Which fear? Fear of what?
Fear of being wrong. Sometimes when somebody is wrong, there's always the fear of being wrong. It's different. So when you're afraid of being wrong, you now want to defend yourself. And in a bit to defend yourself, you complicate the matter. But we are better off, okay? We are better off. I believe we are better off because I've learned to apologize, and I think
listen. I think the major issue for me was listening. The fact that yes, something happened, but the other person has something to say. Allow the person talk.
Yes.
Allow the person
Yes.
just hear from the person's perspective. Maybe you can understand why the person is acting the way they're acting.
Yes. I agree. I agree. Very agree. I agree. We have different temperaments, so
what are you trying to say?
So understanding each other's temperaments.
Yeah.
And this is key. When I'm taking my bath, for instance, there were times I went in to take my bath and I just came out and she now said, I should go and take my bath. I've finished. So she wonders, you've taken your bath? Yes, because speed. Now when she's taking her own bath, it's like swimming, like a fish swimming. So we're different. So when you understand each person's strengths and weaknesses, you also know how to, present things, when to present things, so that you don't, because the challenge at times is trying to make somebody who they are not. It's going to be a problem at the end of the day. You understand? And we will not stop talking about the issue of temperament, upbringings, because all those things come to play. And that's why Scripture talks about wisdom in dealing with people, whether your boss in the office, even your friends, even the children, all those things come to play. Even your children, some of them, you have to be, when you want to talk to them, there's a child you can take the whole day to talk to the child and to work out. But if you try with another child, the child won't get anything because the makeup of that person does not fit that feeding. So if you now try to say, no, I want him to listen or how to listen, you are missing it. You have to understand the person. So listening is the principle, but how do you engage the person?
Okay,
you understand?
So I think before we round off, I will just talk about myself. I think for me, what affects me or what leads me to times when there are two things. For me, is stress. When I'm tired, when I'm stressed out, I've not had time to rest, and it keeps going back to back, back to back. The second thing is spirituality, and we talked about it. But I'm talking about, times when I don't have time to pray like I want to, or I've not been able to study like I want to. It shows up. I get cranky. Things that I would usually be patient with or overlook, I don't overlook it because I know that I'm not growing. So that really affects me, and I think I would like to, encourage people that, that illustration you give, that when you press a bottle, whatever is inside is what comes out, So pressure would always come from different places, even from your home, your spouse. But what you're filled with is what comes out when you're pressured. So if you're not filled with, love, which is from the Holy Spirit, with patience, with kindness, that's not whatever you have on your inside is what spills out.
Yeah, I hope we're listening. That's the major thing, spirituality. Because if you don't pray as a person, your flesh will take over your day. I want to encourage us 1 hour per day. Pray in the night, because
1 hour
per day.
1 hour.
Yes.
You can split it down 1 hour
30, fine.
into 10 minutes if you want to.
Fine, but pray, because the way days go, you don't know which attacks are coming. You don't know what, and if you are not prepared, it can be devastating. Please. For me, if I look back, when things want to escalate in me like a volcano, it's either maybe when a lady is trying to distract me outside, like temptation, and then, of course, I'm warding that off, and then for whatever reason, we're not making love at home. Hey.
This is a new topic. Hey. Are you serious?
So when the temptation, when the temptation is there, of course, you are warding that off.
Wait, now say it. I'm interested. That's why I want to
That's why I'm saying it interestingly.
Oh, yeah, say it now.
So, and then maybe at home we've not made love, So sometimes the anger of, do you know what I'm battling?
Oh my
and then you are
God.
not helping. So that can be there. So any other thing happens, that's not the problem. That's
you have brought in another sweet. So
that
can
was
we
what
talk?
happened that Monday.
Oh my
Monday.
God.
Was it Monday? And that was happened on Monday.
Goodness.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next
We are not
episode.
going anywhere.
We'll see you next episode. God bless you. We pray for grace to stay strong, that our homes will be better than that of our parents, and God will supply us plenty cash, more money in Jesus' name. Bye.